factor part.
Okay, makes sense. What's the second part?
The second part is the result or criterion. This is the evidence, the proof, the tangible outcome that seems to validate the belief. It answers, how do I know this is true?
So for the hard worker example.
It might be, if I work harder, then I will get that promotion or raise. The promotion or raise is the result criterion. It's a thing people often chase, thinking that's the goal.
Okay. Cause leads to result. Factor leads to criterion. What's the third part? You said it was the deepest.
Yes, the third part is the meaning. This is crucial. It answers, what does achieving that result criterion mean about you or the world? Why is that promotion or raise actually important?
So it's the interpretation.
Exactly. For our hard worker, the meaning might be, getting that raise would mean I'm valuable, or mean I am finally worthy. See, the raise itself isn't the ultimate driver. It's the meaning attached to it, the need to feel valuable or worthy.
That is, wow. So if I'm only focused on the result, like working myself into the ground for that raise, but the underlying meaning is I'm only valuable if I constantly overachieve.
You're trapped. You might get the raise, the criterion, but that feeling of inadequacy, that need to prove your worth, the meaning, it doesn't go away. It just finds a new target because the core meaning wasn't addressed.
You achieve the goal, but still feel empty or anxious. The loop continues.
Precisely. You're stuck chasing criteria without ever satisfying the deeper meaning the belief imposed. And sometimes, within these limiting beliefs, we find something even more specific and problematic. Our sources call them suffering laws.
Suffering laws. That sounds ominous.
They kind of are. A suffering law is like a specific clause within a limiting belief that basically says, to get something good, X, you must experience something bad, Y. There's a required price of suffering, struggle, or difficulty.
Can you give an example of that?
A classic one might be, for me to have real, deep love, the positive X, I have to experience significant difficulty or conflict in the relationship, the suffering Y.
Oh, wow. So what happens if the relationship is actually going smoothly?
The person's internal law feels violated. It needs the difficulty to feel true or valid. So, subconsciously, they might start picking fights, finding flaws, or creating drama.
To fulfill the requirement of their own internal suffering law, they sabotage the peace to obey the rule.
You got it. It seems like self-sabotage from the outside, but internally, it's actually the system trying to maintain congruence with its own deeply held, albeit painful, rule.
That's profound. It explains so much about repeating negative patterns. It's not necessarily wanting the pain, but needing to follow the rule that says pain is required.
Exactly. And if we zoom out even further from these specific suffering laws, we get to the absolute bedrock, core beliefs.
Okay, core beliefs. These are the really deep ones.
The deepest. These are fundamental assumptions about yourself, others, and the world. Things like, I am safe, or I am inherently flawed, the world is abundant, or the world is hostile.
Like the operating system.
A perfect analogy. These core beliefs are like the source code. They generate dozens, maybe hundreds, of more superficial beliefs, influence your values, shape your identity, and dictate your behavior across all areas of your life.
And the power here is disproportionate.
Hugely. The source material really emphasizes this. Focusing your energy on identifying and changing just one negative core belief can trigger a massive, system-wide positive shift. It's far more efficient and impactful than trying to change dozens of surface-level beliefs or behaviors individually.
So find the root, change the root, and the branches change automatically.
That's the principle. It involves, identifying that core assumption, really understanding its history and challenging its validity, consciously creating a new, empowering core belief, and then actively integrating that new belief, making it part of your identity.
That sounds like deep work, but incredibly worthwhile.
It is. It's foundational.
Okay, so we've mapped the hierarchy, we've explored the engine room of beliefs, including the tricky suffering laws and the powerful core beliefs. How do we now take this amazing framework and use it practically? Say, for setting goals we can actually achieve.
Great question. This is where the LLC model becomes a powerful tool for what we call outcome development. Designing goals that are set up for success from the start because they're aligned with your whole system.
Not just wishful thinking.
Right. It starts simply enough. Step 1, define your present state. Get really clear and specific about the current situation or problem. No sugarcoating.
Okay, know where you are. Step 2.
Step 2, define your desired state. This is your goal. Again, be specific, make it compelling, maybe even sensory rich. What will you see, hear, feel when you've achieved it?
Present state, desired state. Seems standard enough.
But here comes the crucial step, a one that makes all the difference. Based on the LLC model, you must check your desired state, your goal, against all 6 logical levels. You're checking for congruence.
Congruence, meaning alignment.
Exactly. Does this goal align with every level of your being? If there's a conflict and incongruence at any level, the goal becomes incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to achieve sustainably. It will likely fail.
Okay, walk us through that congruence check. What questions should someone ask themselves?
All right, let's say you've defined your goal. Now you go level by level. First, environment. Does this goal fit my environment? Where and when will this happen? Do I have the necessary space, time, resources in my environment?
Makes sense. Level 2.
Behavior. What specific actions, what behaviors will I need to do consistently to reach this goal? Can I clearly picture myself taking these actions?
Oh, yeah, level 3.
Capabilities. Do I currently have the skills, the knowledge, the capabilities required for these behaviors? If not, do I have a realistic plan to learn or develop them?
Crucial. Now for the upper levels.
Level 4, beliefs and values. This is huge. Does this goal align with my core beliefs and values? Does achieving it require me to violate a hidden belief, maybe even a suffering law? What empowering beliefs support this goal? Why is this goal truly important to me?
Really digging into the why behind the what.
Absolutely. Then, level 5, identity. Who will I be when I achieve this goal? Does this new identity feel authentic? Does it conflict with who I currently see myself as? Am I willing to become that person?
That's a powerful question. Who will I be?
It really is. And finally, level 6, purpose. How does achieving this goal connect to my larger sense of purpose or mission in life? Does it contribute to something meaningful beyond just myself?
Wow. That's a thorough check-in.
It has to be. Because if your goal, your desired state, requires you to behave in a way, level 2, that clashes with your deeply held beliefs, level 4, or your sense of identity, level 5, that internal conflict, that incongruence, creates massive resistance.
It's like driving with the brakes on.
Perfect analogy. You're fighting yourself every step of the way. It makes even simple goals feel overwhelmingly hard because your own system is generating friction against the change.
So congruence across all 6 levels is the key to making change feel more natural and sustainable.
It's absolutely fundamental.
This LLC model, then, it's more than just a theory. It's a practical diagnostic tool, not just for goal setting, but for understanding why we feel stuck, where our internal conflicts are.
Precisely. It gives you a map to diagnose those conflicts, understand value clashes, and really move intentionally towards fulfillment, shifting from patterns of avoidance or resistance to patterns of approach and alignment.
The core insight really seems to be about leverage, about altitude. Stop battling behavior with more behavior or willpower.
Stop fighting at the lower levels. True, lasting change almost always flows top-down. A shift in identity, aligned with purpose, supported by empowering beliefs that naturally cascades down and reorganizes your capabilities and behaviors with much less effort.
That really is the deep dive, isn't it? The struggle often isn't about a lack of discipline, like we're told. It's more likely the presence of an internal rule, a conflicting belief or identity that's holding the old pattern in place.
You've nailed it.
So as we wrap up, here's maybe a final thought, something provocative for you, our listener, to consider. Think about one area in your life where you feel perpetually stuck, where change feels incredibly hard. Using this model, can you try to identify a hidden suffering law? Is there an unconscious rule demanding that you must pay some kind of price, struggle, difficulty, sacrifice in order to have what you truly want in that area?
That's a powerful exercise.
Finding that law, questioning it, maybe even starting to rewrite it, that could honestly be the single most impactful shift you make, more than any new technique or habit.
It targets the root.
Exactly. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We really hope this framework gives you some powerful new tools and perspectives on your own journey toward profound, stable